Hello everyone, I'm back. NFL 2018 Week 7 predictions upcoming. I had a fantastic week picking football games. We'll go back to what happened in Week 6. I went 13-2, which brings my total to 57 wins, 34 losses, and 2 ties. I started the year 23-23-2 after 3 weeks. Ever since then, I am 34-11 in picking games. I've gotten 11 games wrong over the last 3 weeks and 34 right. So I'm starting to really come on hot now, and I look to continue that trend. Quick recap: I picked Philly against the Giants, easy. I picked Atlanta against the Buccaneers, easy. I went for the Steelers on the road against Cincinnati, only because of the history that the Steelers have against this football team. Same thing, I got the Chargers right on the road against the Browns, the Seahawks right on the road against the Raiders. Bears at Dolphins I got incorrectly, but to be honest with you, when I was making these picks last week, you may remember me stammering about the fact I was picking so many away teams. I knew one of these four was one of them was gonna end up being an upset, and it just so happened it was the Bears Dolphins one. Vikings Cardinals I got correct. Jets Colts I got correct. I said, and that was my upset. I said I was picking the Washington Redskins to beat the Carolina Panthers, and the Washington Redskins indeed beat the Carolina Panthers. So I'm gonna toot my own horn on that. I called that one. Bills at Texans, Houston won. I got that right. Rams Broncos, got that one right. Jags Cowboys, everyone got wrong. Ravens Titans, I got right. Patriots Chiefs, I got right. I had to pick the Patriots there, and then Packers, I got right. I'm gonna spend a second on the Titans. So, and yes, some of this is because of Homer, but I also watch a lot of tape. I watch a lot of what goes on at every level of every part of this Titans offense and defense. All I've heard recently are people, and not only them, but just national media, starting to label Mariota as a bust. To which I say, cool your damn jets, okay? Just Mariota is the only bright spot on this Titans offense. That's a fact. He's the only bright spot, and let me tell you why. From the tape that I've seen, and I even said this in the last couple of videos, and it's the reason I picked the Ravens to win. The Ravens have a good secondary. So what was going to happen in this game? Every wide receiver Tennessee has was going to be covered. There were no open options downfield when I looked back at the tape and evaluated all 11 of his sacks. All 11 of them. There was no one open downfield. Now, yes, Mariota could have stepped up in the pocket more. He could have thrown the ball away more. He could have done more on his end to not get sacked. I'm not gonna let Mariota not have any blame, because there is some blame on his shoulders. But the fact of the matter is, Tennessee does not have the weapons on offense to be a Super Bowl team right now, or even probably a playoff team. They've lost Delanie Walker and they've lost Rishard Matthews. Those are two huge losses. And you can even throw in the fact that they lost DeMarco Murray from the last 2 years. Those are three ginormous losses for this Titans team over the last, a year ago at this time, we're talking about Tennessee with DeMarco Murray, Delanie Walker, Rishard Matthews, and now we're talking about the Titans led by Corey Davis, Taywan Taylor, and Jonnu Smith. Come on, people. The interior offensive line was not addressed in free agency, and the wide receiver position was not addressed in free agency, and it's coming back to bite this team in the butt. And going into the year, I may have said this in my last video, going into the year, Tennessee was ranked at the 31st ranked receiving corps in the league, including tight ends. 31st. They don't even have Delanie Walker or Rishard Matthews anymore. That ranking was with both of those guys. Now, it's ridiculous, people. People who think that that a lot of this is Mariota's fault. They can't even protect Mariota. He's got no options to throw to. If Tennessee goes up against a legitimate defense like they did in Baltimore, they will lose the game. If they go up against a good secondary, someone that could cover Corey Davis, they will lose the game. That's the reason. I mean, you've seen the drops. Some of you may have seen the highlights. Tennessee doesn't have the receiving corps. They need to go into free agency this offseason, and they need to get some damn receivers, just like what the Ravens did, because look at Joe Flacco now. Joe Flacco didn't have any toys to play with last season. That's exactly why Joe Flacco's stats were pretty bad last year. And now, the front office did something in Baltimore. The front office did it the right way. They did it the wrong way in Tennessee. They went out and they got Joe Flacco some toys to play with. We're talking Michael Crabtree. We're talking John Brown. We're talking Willie Snead. 3 brand spanking new receivers for this Ravens team to play with. Far cry from what they had last year in terms of who they were throwing the ball to. Tennessee stood pat. Didn't do a single thing about their receiving corps. I mean, did we expect the injuries to Delaney and Richard? No, we didn't. But the lack of depth is extremely alarming. And for those claiming Mariota is a bust and all this other stuff, all I have to say is I'm going to laugh. I am going to laugh if for some reason Tennessee doesn't retain Mariota and he ends up going to a team with an offense who can fit his skill set and have the talent around him for him to be successful. We've already seen how successful he could be in 2016 when Tennessee they had one of the best offenses in the league that year. That was DeMarco Murray's last premier year in the league. And if you put Mariota in the Rams or the Chiefs offense right now, dangerous. I'm going to throw that out there now, and I know there's some bias coming from me in that regard, but if you give Mariota, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, Todd Gurley, Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, you give him these weapons, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable change. But that's enough about that. That's me going on a rant. So skip ahead if you haven't done so already. Other than that, I did go 13-2, so very impressive. Now we're going to go to week 7, as I just ate up a solid 8 minutes talking about Tennessee. Broncos at Cardinals. Pick Denver in this game. I like Josh Rosen, but I don't like him against the Broncos defense. The Broncos are on the road. They suck on the road. But I'm still going to go with Denver here. Only because I'm not 100% sold on Arizona. Especially considering I don't think they're using David Johnson the right way. And Denver's defense, I think, is going to shut down Rosen to the tune of 21-10. We'll see if Denver can actually do something on the road. But that's my prediction. Next game we have the Titans and Chargers in London. Pick the Chargers in this game, but with caution. I stare in the camera as I say that now. Why? Because it would be so Tennessee Titans of this team to win, and it would be so Los Angeles Chargers of this team to lose. That's the way both of these teams work. It's the way that these teams have worked for the last decade. This is a game Chargers fans are cringing at because they know they should win it, but history has a way of repeating itself every now and again for snake-bitten teams. This is a game that the Chargers are known for losing every once in a while. Once a season, twice a season, something like that. So we'll see. That being said, I think Tennessee is a lot more competitive in this game and can actually score touchdowns in this game against the Chargers. The Chargers have a good defense, but not a great defense. Tennessee's got a good defense that could contain Los Angeles well enough. Plus, they get Wesley Woodyard back, and he's one of their best run stoppers on defense. So the Chargers' dual-headed rushing attack should stand pat. But still, I predict the Chargers' victory to the tune of 23-17 over Tennessee. Browns at Buccaneers. I can't believe. Do I want to pick the Browns? I'm gonna second guess myself on this one. Yes, I'm gonna stick with Cleveland. I know Tampa's talented. I know they got Winston back, but the Buccaneers don't have a defense. And Cleveland has a pretty good offense if they could get rolling the right way. So pick the Browns in this game, 28-24 over Tampa. This is my what the hell game of the week because, I mean, both of these teams aren't really going anywhere. But Cleveland is improving. Panthers at Eagles, pick Philadelphia. The Eagles have had 10 days of rest. The Panthers are now enjoying their annual roller coaster, and that continues here, traveling on the road to Philadelphia, where I think the Eagles get the dub 26-20 sounds about right. Listen, the Panthers, you do it every year. You'll be great one year and then mediocre the next. And I think this is the point in your season where you revert back to mediocrity. This game will get the Panthers to 3-3, middling in the NFC South race, only for the giving a golden opportunity to the Saints and the Falcons to catch right up and to extend their division lead. So pick the Eagles. Vikings at Jets. Pick the Vikings, but I got them on upset alert. This is a feisty Jets team, just like it was last year. This team is 3-3, and nobody knows it. The Jets are 3-3. It's seriously, no one has any idea that this Jets team has reeled off a couple wins against some pretty good teams. I mean, they beat Detroit, they beat Indy. Skips me who their last win, or their second one came against. But beware the New York Jets. So Minnesota, keep your eye out. Think the Vikings will take this game 24-17 over the Jets. The Jets have weapons, and they have a pretty decent defense. So we will see what happens. But right now I have Minnesota. Lions at Dolphins. I'm picking Detroit only because I don't think Brock Osweiler can win 2 in a row for Miami. I know Miami's at home again, but I'm not sold on Brock Osweiler. Period. All right. Matthew Stafford and the Lions, they should be able to get the win here. I think they had a bye week to think about it. So Detroit gets back to 3-3 with this game, and Miami kind of reverts back down to the median where it feels like they should be, because the Miami Dolphins don't strike me as a team that would start a season 5-2. So we'll go Detroit 31-21 over Miami. Patriots at Bears. If the Bears want to prove to the league that they're for real, they need to be competitive in this game. Don't know if that's going to happen. Mitchell Trubisky going up against the Hoodie should scare you. Pick the Patriots in this game. 34-17 over the Bears. I just don't think the Bears are ready yet. I want them to be competitive in this game. Hell, I'd like to see the Bears win this game, but I just don't think they have it in them. So go 34-17 over the Chicago Bears. Next game, Bills at Colts. Listen here, okay? Buffalo is not as bad as you think they are, especially now. Because now that Nathan Peterman is no longer in the picture, Josh Allen wasn't doing much of anything. Derek Anderson is an extremely capable backup. This reminds me of when Kyle Orton was a Buffalo Bill. It totally reminds me of it, because Kyle Orton was serviceable, and this Bills defense is solid. So all the Bills needed was that serviceable quarterback with a solid defense. They got 9 wins out of that shit with Tyrod Taylor last year. And now that they're fielding Derek Anderson, and now that he's starting, this is a Bills team that is almost now at the talent level they were when they reached the playoffs last year. The only problem the Bills had coming into the season, one of the huge question marks, there's every roster's got holes and question marks, but the biggest one for Buffalo was at the quarterback position. So if Derek Anderson is any kind of serviceable, like we're talking, if his stat line for the rest of the year reads every single game like 16 of 28 passes completed for 230 yards, a touchdown, and an interception, if that is his stat line for literally the rest of the year, the Bills go 500 the rest of the way. That's my take on it. I think the Bills get this win. The Colts don't have a defense. It's gotten a little better, but Indianapolis, it's the same song, different year for Indy. I think Buffalo goes into Indianapolis and gets the win. We'll go 20-16 over Indianapolis. Texans at Jaguars. Jacksonville's pissed. And guess what? This is the first time this Jaguars defense is going up against Deshaun Watson. That being said, Houston's 3-game winning streak ends here. Lucky 3-game winning streak, I might say. That's probably the luckiest 3-game winning streak I've ever seen in my life. Literally all 3 of those wins were essentially given to them on a silver platter. So that ends with a pissed off Jacksonville Jaguars team that has something to prove. Jacksonville should get to 4-3 here with this win, and I think they'll get the win here by a score of 29-17 over Houston. Saints at Ravens. Boy, isn't that a good game. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not on TV because, let's face it, all of America apparently loves watching the Cowboys every single freaking week. The Cowboys are on TV. Drives me up a wall. If it's not Monday night, if it's not Sunday night, it's the 4:25 game every single freaking week, and it's starting to drive me crazy because I would much rather watch the Saints and Ravens go to town than the Cowboys and the Redskins. Because last time the Saints and Ravens played, it was a Monday Night Football game back in 2015, and man, that game was a doozy. Let me bring that game up real quick. What was it? Saints, Ravens, Monday Night Football. October 21st. Wow, almost a year ago to the day? What day is Sunday? The 21st. Oh my goodness. There's a stat for you. The Saints and Ravens played on October 21st of the year 2015. And now they're playing on October 21st this year. Go figure. How did this game end up? Gamecast, come on. Score. Wait, hang on a sec. I don't think that was correct, what I said. Saints, Ravens, Monday Night Football, 2015. No, it was in week 12. Never mind. I knew that didn't sound right. I thought it was a lot earlier in the year. No, it's 2014. Jeez, I'm all over the place. 15, 16, yeah. It was 2014. And it won't tell me the dang score. I'll go to Pro Football Focus. Saints, Ravens, history. That'll tell me. The Baltimore Ravens have owned the series, by the way, and the last 2 games have been good. 34-27, the Ravens beat the Saints on 11-24, 2014. So, Drew Brees has never beaten this team in his life. This is the only NFL team Drew Brees has yet to beat. Don't think he'll get it here. I know the Saints have had extra time to prepare for this game, but watching the Ravens defense shred Tennessee the way it did, this Ravens defense is for real, ladies and gentlemen, and I don't and I think the rest of the league got put on notice on Sunday because this Ravens team is here to stay. I honestly think now, watching the season play out, the AFC South will go to either Jacksonville, Tennessee, or Houston, and your 2 wild cards are both going to come from the AFC North. That's what I think is going to happen. I think Miami's going to fade away, and I think your division winner and wild cards are going to be the Steelers, Ravens, and Bengals in no particular order. Next game we have the Cowboys at the Redskins. Oh, pick the Ravens. 24-14 over the Saints. Ravens have yet to allow a second half touchdown. Period. Impressive. Cowboys at Redskins. I'm picking Washington here because Lord knows who understands this Redskins team, because I can guarantee you no one gets them. I picked them to win last week. They didn't let me down, so I'm going to do the same again. I don't know if Dallas can put up the same kind of performance that they did last week. I don't think Dak is back. I think they just had a good game against a good team. But the Redskins are at home. Dallas is on the road. I think the Redskins should get this win here, 26-23 over Dallas. Rams at 49ers. Do not count the 49ers out in this game, but the Rams should get the victory here. We'll go 31-24 over the 49ers. The Niners should keep it closer than people think. Bengals at Chiefs. Kansas City should win. The Bengals, they're going to regress a little bit, but they've had a very tough stretch of games for the last couple weeks. I mean, their last couple weeks they've played the Ravens, the Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Steelers. I mean, it's murderous row, and they're holding their own. So we'll see how much of a fight they could put up in this game, but I have the Chiefs taking the win, 33-28 over Cincy. And then the Monday Night Football game, survival game, Giants at Falcons. Go Atlanta here. The Giants are a hot mess. The Atlanta Falcons are an injured hot mess. The Giants are going to probably put up at least 28 points in this game because the Falcons defense is trash, but the Falcons should win 35-28. Those are my picks. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys all next time.